West Michigan. Fox 17 News at 6 starts right now.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Josh Berry. After 9 days, Judge Christina Mims has declared a mistrial after the jury said they could not reach a unanimous verdict in the trial of former Grand Rapids police officer Christopher Schurr. More than 3 years ago, he shot Patrick Lyoya, a 26-year-old black man, in the back of the head during a traffic stop as the two struggled over Schurr's taser. Schurr testified during the trial that he feared for his life. Others believe he overstepped his role. After the incident, Schurr was charged with second-degree murder. And happening right now, on the heels of this mistrial being declared, a Justice for Patrick Lyoya rally is being held. The group now demanding a retrial. I had a chance to speak with one of their organizers a moment ago.
Been gone for these last 3 years, and as long as I have breath in my body, I'll keep screaming his name until he gets his justice.
And they have put a lot of effort behind this movement. It's lasted 3 years. She said that there's a lot of heartbreak, but exhaustion right now, but they will still continue. Again, this rally scheduled this evening. They've been supporting Patrick Lyoya and his family throughout this entire case for the last 3 years. From the moment the body cam video was released, when they protested in front of the Grand Rapids Police headquarters, to here in front of the Kent County Courthouse. Now, the big question is, what's next? Our Sam Lanstra has been on this trial since the beginning. He's joining us now live. After hearing from the prosecution and the defense, we heard from both of them about what's next and the steps moving forward, Sam.
Yeah, that's right, Josh. It's the big question here after all this. There's a multitude of outcomes at play here. The second-degree murder case could be tried again with a new jury. The charge could be dropped, or a plea deal could be reached with the defendant. But the burden of this decision will weigh on the mind of Kent County Prosecutor Chris Becker.
Big decision, but I'm not going to rush through it. But I'm not going to sit here and, it's not going to be June.
The day the judge declared a mistrial is not the day Becker will make his decision.
What am I going to do? And I'm not going to make a decision right now.
The prosecutor will take some time, he said, during a post-trial press conference where he also reacted to the hung jury.
I'm not surprised. I always thought this is a definite possibility that we're not going to get a verdict, and that's what happened.
Becker said he spoke to the jurors after Judge Christina Mims declared the mistrial and dismissed them.
Really a good jury. I mean, they paid attention, they took a lot of notes. But, I've been in hung jury where you can tell, oh my gosh, I think these people are going to kill each other. And this was not that. I didn't get that feel.
But while the prosecutor did not say how the 12 were divided, defense attorney Matthew Borgula claimed they leaned in Christopher Schurr's favor.
It was overwhelmingly in favor of acquittal, and there were holdouts on the other side.
Borgula, who at multiple times during testimony motioned for a mistrial and also claimed Judge Mims was biased, said the case should not be retried.
It was clear, based on the evidence, that there wasn't enough to establish a charge in this case.
At the conclusion of this trial, 12 days and 23 witnesses later, neither side claimed victory in the jury's indecision.
What happened today is not what anybody was expecting or wanted. We're hoping for a verdict, and I think the family, and I don't know if they've talked here, but they're extremely disappointed.
There really is no winning here. A man died, and that is a very serious thing.
Now, this mistrial means we continue to look at the calendar for when this case could be decided, and already it has progressed from district court to appeals to the state Supreme Court to here, 17th Circuit Court. More than 3 years have now passed since Patrick Lyoya's death. That's 1,130 days as of Thursday. And still, Christopher Schurr's criminal responsibility, or lack thereof, has not been adjudicated, as this jury was unable to deliver a verdict.
And of course, time will tell to say exactly what kind of revisions, if any, Chris Becker may make in a new trial, and what will also be allowed in a new trial. And something the defense took issue with was this narrative around whether Christopher Schurr should have chased after Lyoya in the first place.
Yeah, that's correct. The defense really tried to frame their argument around the moment that Schurr fired that fatal shot, whereas the prosecution said it was about the totality of the circumstances during that traffic stop. And to that end, they called to the stand an expert witness who said something called officer-created jeopardy played a role, which is when an officer might make a tactically poor decision that could play into their own harm later on. And the defense objected to this term and this testimony entirely in the motion for a mistrial.
And one other insight that we got more information on today from the defense was their perception of possible bias from the judge.
Yeah, that's correct. They actually pointed out during the proceedings, they said that they had multiple times believed that Judge Christina Mims rolled her eyes at multiple points during testimony, including Christopher Schurr's testimony. This is a point that during the trial, Judge Mims flat out refuted. She said that I do other work when I'm up at the stand. I do not portray an opinion on this case, nor is it the jury's concern my opinion on this case. So she refuted it, but when we asked about it today during the press conference, yes, defense attorney Matthew Borgula, he did say that he believed that there was a bias displayed by the judge.
Okay, all right. Sam, we appreciate your coverage tonight and throughout this trial. Tonight, we're also hearing from Patrick Loyoya's family and supporters of Christopher Schurr following the mistrial declaration. Our Matt Whitghost brings us more of their reactions.